So, Young Woo Sung is a This all started on November 22, 2024, when model Moon Gabi, who all but disappeared 4 years ago, announced the birth of her first son. She said she wanted to fully indulge in the joy of being pregnant and decided the best way to do that was to share the blessing amongst her and her family. She kept the pregnancy quiet, and before her child was born, she had already made the decision to become a single mom, which, let's be honest, isn't what she said exactly, but definitely what she was alluding to. Then, 2 days later, Dispatch drops the bomb: Young Woo Sung is the father of the baby, which is crazy because, first of all, the man is 51 years old, and second, it was an open secret that he was in a public relationship with his 26-year-old girlfriend, only for everyone to find out that, on top of that, he's been in a 10-year-long common-law marriage with his accountant girlfriend, who, by the way, is about his age and looks a lot like his ex-girlfriend Lee Ji-ah. Yeah, this man is messy. Before we dive into today's video, I want to make it absolutely clear that everything I'm discussing in this video is purely speculative and based on publicly available information and rumors circulating online. None of the statements made in this video should be taken as fact, as this is an analysis and commentary on alleged events. This video is not intended to spread misinformation, defame anyone, or harm anyone's reputation. All individuals mentioned are presumed innocent unless proven otherwise in a court of law. But, addressing this directly to his lawyer, just because he is allegedly doing harish things doesn't mean he is a W, and just because my opinion indicates that he is a W does not mean he has to identify as such. Everyone should form their own opinion. Young Woo Sung is a 51-year-old South Korean male, mostly known from the movie Scarlet Innocence, you know, where he plays a flawed professor of literature, who is a womanizer and has an affair with a student from a small town according to IMDb. Now we know why he can easily handle a role like that, because dealing with more than one woman at a time is not easy. Trust me, I know. Moon Gabi, on the other hand, is a 35-year-old South Korean model, mostly known for her body-positive activism, which, honestly, is crazy because she's literally an Instagram model. The only reason she's seen as different and exotic is because she's tall, with wider hips and strong facial features. Because God forbid you're over 5 feet 2 inches and weigh more than 100 pounds in Korea. The two of them met in early 2022 at a private gathering, and by June 2023, Gabi found out she was pregnant, which makes this a long-term thing, because we all know sperm doesn't live that long. Allegedly, she told him, and he basically said he didn't want anything to do with the child because, get this, he's not interested in getting married or having kids, which makes sense, I guess. At 50 years old, if you don't have kids, it's because you intentionally don't want them. But Gabi? She kept pushing for them to get married and welcome the baby into a stable household, you know, according to Korean standards, which is ironic, because that situation and a baby daddy like him wouldn't be healthy for any kid. He kept saying no. He doesn't think getting married just because you're pregnant makes sense, and a loveless marriage wouldn't create a stable environment for the kid. It would be worse to end up going through a divorce because they don't love each other, which, okay, that's logical, but let's be honest, I feel like that was just his excuse to run away from his responsibilities. As much as I agree that you shouldn't get married just because you're pregnant, I can tell you right now, that is not the reason. This man, at that point, had already been in a relationship for over a year. So, I'm not saying he was already in a relationship when he got her pregnant, but I am saying, the timeline matches up. I mean, with a pregnancy, it just makes it easier to keep track of everything. And if he's been in a relationship for more than a year by 2023, and a woman is having his baby by January 2024, yeah, the math is mathing. Then, this man had the audacity to ask her for a paternity test. Not only is he messing with other women and having unprotected sex, but he also feels like he's entitled to a test, which just blows my mind because that is condescending. I don't care in what context it is. If you're ever willing to participate in unprotected sex, there is no reason why you should question the person you're having sex with about paternity, because that's an inherent risk. And his age? That is disgusting. We all know that an older man's sperm is very unhealthy. So imagine his audacity, shooting up his two-headed sperm in her and then asking her for a paternity test. We all know he already has that audacity. That's why he felt comfortable messing with 3 different women at the same time. Now, don't come for me, this is all I've gotten from Google Translate, because I am not a Korean speaker. But allegedly, he told her that he is only willing to pay child support and that he's not going to be in the child's life because he doesn't want to be a father. Which, honestly, I feel like is fair. He did tell her before she chose to keep the baby, and he kept the same boundaries after she had the kid. On her post, like I said before, she did say she's going to be a single parent for this child. The craziest part? He's been in a 10-year relationship with an accountant. Allegedly, we don't even know who this woman is. We've never seen her before. The only thing we know is that she looks exactly like his ex-girlfriend Lee Ji-ah. Yes, the lady from the penthouse. Apparently, he still hadn't gotten over her and settled for a woman that looks just like her. And the craziest part about this woman was married with kids. She was married with kids, then he had an affair with her, and then she left her family to be with him. She has known that he cheats, she knew how she got him, and she was willing to stick by him even though he went around having affairs behind her back. But she is putting her foot down this time because him getting someone pregnant? That was the breaking point for her. They've been together for 10 years. Yes, they are common law partners because they live together and everything, but they are not legally married. Allegedly, he promised her that they are going to get married. And although they didn't have a wedding or any way to celebrate their relationship, they have legally registered their marriage in South Korea's registry. Something like that, I'm not sure. I'm going based off Google Translate. Don't come for me. All of this is coming from a leaked message from her employees or co-workers. This is from Dispatch. This is not from Naver. This is not an article. It was a Twitter account that's leaking all this information. But it is dated, so it's not like they just made it up in the past 72 hours. These screenshots have timestamps, so this has been around for months. Everything described in the conversation matches the description of this man and his baby mama. So, if 1 + 1 = 2, then the shoe fits. I don't know what else to say except, this is all alleged, obviously. So, a quick update, she got child support for the kid, which is around $3,000. And although he can afford to pay more, child support in South Korea is calculated up to $8,000. So if you make more than $8,000 a month, it doesn't matter, it's capped at $8,000 a month. Also, they agreed that Gabby should get more if he wants to give her more. And the child has all the legal rights a child born in marriage does. So, because the child is legitimately his, they are entitled to inheritance. And since he's worth $26 million, yeah, that's crazy. So I guess, good for her. I mean, I don't think she really needs child support, and I don't think $3,000 does much. But I do think he's probably paying her more. And honestly, the fact that the child is pretty much set for life, $26 million, and that being his only kid, I guess it's not that bad for the kid, at least. Not only did he promise to marry the common law wife, but he's also promising this baby to her. He promised that if she doesn't leave him and marries him, he is going to try to gain full custody of the baby. Now, they are trying to play my girl Gabi as a surrogate or a walking uterus, which is insane. This might actually work out for him because, not only has he shown some responsibility for the kid by paying child support, he's allegedly trying to spin it as him and his now alleged wife providing the most stable family for the kid. You know, they can financially afford it. And they are also married, having a mom and dad present in the home. Meanwhile, Gabi is a single mom. And based on his experience in the industry alone, he's been active since 1994, he obviously has more bite than bark. Even if we're only speaking from a financial sense, she was active from 2017 to 2020 and has been inactive since then. So, I'm not going to speak about her finances. But if her main source of income is content creation, and she's been inactive for 4 years, I can't assume it's very financially beneficial. I always knew that he was in a relationship, but I never knew that she was born in 1998. That means his girlfriend at the age of 51 is younger than Lisa from Blackpink, which is insane, because he regularly hangs out with Lee Young-jae, you know, the star of Squid Game, and his girlfriend, Lim Se-ryung, an heiress in her own right and the former daughter-in-law of Samsung. These people are in their 40s and 50s. What business did he have showing off his 26-year-old girlfriend to them? What the hell did they all have in common that he felt like the person he should be hanging out with, out of 3 women, would be the 26-year-old girl he has known since she was 24 and he was 49? I'm not going to say that 2 times is a pattern, but dating people who are both 16 years and 25 years younger than you might be a pattern. Don't ask me, okay? He has no shame, because South Korea enables people like this. His best friend is also known for his DUI, woman-beating tendencies, and homophobia. And his girlfriend is a 26-year-old child compared to his age and maturity. She plays with teddy bears, and he is 16 years older than his baby mama. Both he and his alleged wife are trying to treat her like a working uterus, which is why I always hate it when people say, well, if you're older than 25, it doesn't matter because you guys are both mature adults. It's not the same. There is a certain maturity that comes with age. Even if you are over 25, there is no way in hell you're going to convince me that you are as mature as a 50-year-old. This man has kept such a clean image ever since he debuted in 1994. The only scandal he ever had was being in a relationship. Just for all of this to be going on behind the scenes. Insane. People are literally praising him. And I feel like Gabi is the one being shamed for this. Because the most I see are people saying things like, good for him. At least now he has a kid. He's lucky it was a son. No one would be causing this many issues if it was a daughter. Although people are not explicitly shaming her, the tone of their comments is shaming her for being a single mom and for messing with someone his age, even though it was openly known that he had a girlfriend. Meanwhile, he is the one with the pattern of messing with married people or people too young for him. At the end of all this, he is the one that's going to benefit the most. Because something like this has happened before. Meet Lee Byung-hun. In August 2014, South Korean actor Lee Byung-hun became embroiled in a blackmail scandal involving singer Taehyung from the K-pop group Glam and model Lee Ji-yeon. The 2 women threatened to release a video of Lee making lewd remarks during a drinking session unless he paid them 5 billion Korean won, an insane amount of money, about $4.6 million. I don't know how I feel about blackmailing people, but I feel like it's because he couldn't afford it that he went to the police. Let's keep it a buck. If it was something like $20,000 to $50,000, he probably could have paid it easily. Because it was too much money, an unreasonable amount. If you ask me, the 2 women were arrested for blackmailing and actually went to prison for it. I think it was a year and 2 months for one and a year for the other. This ruined the group Glam, which had to disband. This is why I feel like the entertainment industry allows men like these to continue their careers without shame, backlash, or long-term consequences, while women lose their careers just for being looked at in an attractive way by a man. He did publicly apologize in July 2015, pretty much because of the disappointment his fans felt and the embarrassment he brought to his colleagues. I think he was in a few dramas and had contracts for advertisements, so obviously there was a lot of backlash for the people he was working with and the brands he was affiliated with. But let's not act like this was career-ending for him. He still had movies that came out in both 2015 and 2016. And then, in 2018, he went on to star in one of the most popular Korean dramas, which pretty much solidified the idea that Korean dramas could generate huge profits for Netflix. It was one of the first Korean shows to collaborate with Netflix, so yeah, his career wasn't over. As for the blackmail, I honestly don't think I care, especially in a situation like this. Don't cheat on your wife, who was allegedly pregnant, end of story. And as for the girl, she should have been smarter. Why would you even ask for $4 million? Don't be stupid. That's all for today's video. Remember, everything discussed here is alleged and based on speculation from publicly available sources. I encourage everyone to do their own research and come to their own conclusions about this situation. If you enjoyed this video, Please give it a like, share it with others who might find it interesting, and subscribe to my channel for more deep dives and discussions on trending topics. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. As always, I've included all the sources I referenced in the description box below so you can explore them further yourself. Let's keep the discussion going in the comments, but please be respectful to everyone involved.